Hello, middle school science world. So, I've had a few people ask me to do an update video over my original one where I shared my classroom with everybody. So, I'm finishing the first trimester of my third year, and you'll have a chance to see how my class has changed. Some things have remained the same, but some things have changed over the past like 2.5, 3 years. Okay, so I will walk around, make some comments on the different parts, and you'll get a chance to see what's, as I said, changed. So, not much has changed here. I've moved a few things around. We have our, state mandated stuff we need to post. I still have the large picture that I keep up there that I use when I'm teaching earth science, weathering erosion, and whatnot. I've got a little bit here. This is a new feature, is the bins for my science notebooks. So each student has their own science notebook. I have it broken down per class period with the bins. You can see the coloring on top. That's to be a quick reference for the student. I assign one student. They're in charge of 5 notebooks. They'll grab the colors and then they hand them out at the beginning of class to the 5 students. So that's been a nice change. It's a good way of keeping their notes all in one spot versus losing them like I had in the past. I took down the main bulletin board, replaced it with a large picture of Kilimanjaro and some elephants. Sink area, doing a lot more glassware cleaning because I'm being a lot more engaged with my students and doing hands-on activities with the glassware. See, not much has changed over here. Moved a few things down, tried to do a little bit less clutter, but I still have a fair amount of stuff up on the walls. Well, see right here I have dialogue starters that I have at each table for my students to use when we are talking as a class and when we are talking in groups. What I'd like to do is require them to practice using those dialogue starters. I'll assign a color, then you have to pick one from that color. See, I still am using my word wall here. I like to use the left side here in Spanish to help support those students. And then on the right side of my word wall, it's in English. This is my new daily slide. When my students come in, there's a daily question for them to answer in their science notebooks. What they'll do is I will read the question to them. If there's any new words in the question, we'll practice saying it. As a class, with this one, it's, they're interpreting a graph, plus they're tapping into their prior knowledge of what a divergent boundary is and the formation of new crust. I'll assign a timer. It wasn't 15 minutes to answer that question. That was another independent activity. I gave them 15 minutes of quiet time to work on. So with something like this, I would assign maybe 3 minutes. At the end of the 3 minutes, I'll come over, I'll tap on the dice icon. That will roll the dice. So you see it said table 4. So I would have someone from table 4 will be answering the question. I'll roll the dice again. With this one, there's 5 seats at this table. So it's depending on what number the dice rolled will determine which student is answering the question. So they'll stand and deliver. And then after that student answers, I like to have a follow-up answer where a student will use a dialogue starter to build upon the answer that was given It could be simple I agree or disagree, or I will add on to their answer by sharing, my answer type of thing. So that's working out really well this year. Getting much more engagement with the writing of sentences at the beginning of a class. It gives them an activity to work on immediately when they come into my class. Plus, it's getting students to be risk takers, standing up in front of, they're not directly in front of class, but they do have to stand up when they provide their answer to their classmates. It's giving them opportunities to kind of build that courage of speaking in front of others. Here's my learning goal for our current topic of plate tectonics. I like to keep that posted so students understand the expectation of what we're learning and what our kind of final goal of what we're learning. Not much has changed over here in my work area. Basically remaining the same. I guess you could say this is new up here. I got some Pokemon Lego figures that were put together by my Makerspace crew. Moved some of the good examples of our tower building back there. I keep them hidden. One thing here I have done is I've tried to be a lot more involved with my plants, that I'm doing my best to take up every single space of the window with. Last year I actually had two very large ones over here in the corner, which was really cool because it took up this whole corner. But I did have a few students that were a little touchy-feely with the plants. So the plants did take some abuse over there. So they're currently on sabbatical at my house, kind of rehabbing, which I'm thinking about. I'll bring them back after Christmas and put them over in the corner. And there are two other ones, that larger plants, that I would like to put in this corner. But this is kind of the station area where I have a teacher aide that pushes in with one of my classes. That's kind of like her station, so I'm not sure I want to take up that space. Here I've built a box lab, or I guess you could say a lab in a box, for one of our 6th grade teachers. She's teaching thermal energy, so I'm trying to support my other middle school teachers by taking my experience with different labs and providing them a lab kit that they can take to their classrooms, easily set up, and do a quick one-day hands-on lab with their students. I've added a few new books here and there to my class library. I've even built a floating bookcase here to showcase some of the books that I want to draw attention to for my students. Storage, paper, crafts, whatnot area for my sweaters over there. This area is just, the grab lanyards to go to the bathroom. I keep current copies of any papers that we have in class sitting right there. I have my pencil cup, pencil sharpeners right next to it to make it easily accessible for my students. Well, that's about it. I'm trying to think if I've made any other kind of unique or new changes that I'd want to share with the middle school science world. I'm sure that I'll have some new twist, because every time my older students come in the classroom, they're like, "Oh, you didn't do that with us." I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm growing as a teacher. I learn new stuff and I try it out with a new set of students. But as a 7th grade being my primary focus, I'm happy with my classroom. I do have concerns about it being a little bit on the side of over-cluttered, but I do want, when a student comes in here, I want them to go, wow, this is a science classroom. And it's real obvious it's a science classroom. I want them to kind of like wrap that warm blanket of science around them and just become immersed in it. So that's the environment I'm trying to create. I'm also trying to be very supportive of all my students and, you know, do my best to make this a safe space for them to feel comfortable in at the same time. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's all I got for you. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Definitely drop those likes. Push the algorithm to encourage more middle school science teachers looking for ideas for their own classroom to come explore this video. All right, thank you. See you later, middle school science world. How many times have I said that?